CERN. The moment that you say federated data, I thought, okay, the Swiss have been doing this for some time. And it's called caffeine or something like that. It's something that you have been exposed into?
I mean, that's a great model, right? Where they were able to, it's unique and very specialized. They had one data source and they wanted to disseminate that data as broadly, right? This is a bigger problem. You have multiple, it's a many-to-many problem where you have multiple data sources and you're looking to use them collectively where it makes sense. So this is, I mean, clearly the solutions that the world, or what a data grid in CERN created will apply here. But I think this is a broader problem.
Okay, because I mean, CERN, they always open source here and there, the OpenStack saga once upon a time. But most importantly, I mean, I remember that from our days of the SKA. But now the Swiss also have this LLM model that Thorsten promoted very highly. So is that something that you guys use, relate, think?
No, absolutely, right. I think there are definitely, so a lot of the tools underlying this to enable this is based on LLMs. But as I was saying, LLMs themselves are not perfect. Okay. And I think that's where coming up with ability for us to tune the output that's coming out is important.
Right. Anna.
So this is great. I'm very excited to use the data platform. You know, we're doing a lot of similar things. So for SciDAC applications, we're trying to build kind of the same idea so that they can track data sets for their specific domain science. And one thing that we want to capture that I did not see on your slides, so that was my question, is failed attempts on using the data sets.
Yes.
Like all the things you presented are successes. This is how you can successfully use the data set, but in a lot of cases, you cannot use it for these tasks.
Yeah.
And we are trying to capture that, and it would be great if I can use your platform for what we're doing and just add the things we have.
See, the problem is, and this goes to the other talk I like to give around translational computer science, right? We are not known for telling things or publishing what does not work. You know, you always publish the results that work. So you don't find public information about, I tried to do this, but this did not work. Actually, David Abramson and I wrote a paper on translational computer science that highlighted one of the key challenges that we don't talk about failures in translation. And that means we are sort of, doomed to repeat the whole thing because we don't know what didn't work. But that's a great point.
And in addition to that, there are data samples that don't really help for a particular model. So capturing the fact that that data set will not increase the accuracy is something that you would want to have.
I think you're right. So we try to capture whatever data we can get from publications, but also capture, if you saw there, the context, right? Why that was flagged and what was the piece of the paper that showed that, right? And that helps. But this is a work in progress, and we'd love to try it out and tell us what doesn't work.
Amal.
Thank you. That's a great talk. Thank you for this presentation. And while you were talking, I was wondering if there is or there has been established any relationship with the new American Science Cloud initiative, in the sense that that's going to be kind of an infrastructure, but in terms of data, which is extremely important nowadays, did you think about how would you deploy the data platform on this new MSAC?
So we're trying to keep it flexible enough that it integrates with different data center, data infrastructure or compute infrastructure that's being deployed. Funded by NSF, we're focused on a lot of that, but there's no reason, at least architecturally, why it couldn't build on other types of infrastructure that's being deployed. And the Science Cloud definitely makes a lot of sense, right? I think the idea here was not to stand up a new infrastructure, but to get the connective tissue that makes existing infrastructure, data infrastructure particularly, more usable.
Right, so could you please join me thanking Manish for another